Alright guys, so continuing on from the last episode, kind of, where I basically rebuilt the power steering pump for this car here. I'm going to now put the new power steering pump in, and also a new high pressure line and a Davies Craig power steering cooler as well, which I've got over here. So we've got the new power steering pump, got a new high pressure hose, and the oil cooler as well. Oh, and also a Magnefine power steering or auto trans filter. So as you guys can see, and hopefully this battery charger isn't making too much noise, but I've taken the pulley off and the belt obviously for the power steering pump. See all the oil that's been dropping out of it and just basically blowing right onto the car as well. This is what I always do. I'm sure there's other ways to drain the fluid, but basically I use a big syringe with a bit of silicone hose or whatever hose you can basically get on it. And I'm just going to suck everything out of the reservoir as much as I can. Then I'm going to pull the reservoir off. Right, so next up, you're going to want to have some rags ready, and I'm basically going to take out these two 7mm bolts. There should be 3 bolts in total holding on the reservoir. Right, so the only thing left to do to get rid of the pump now is this 16mm nut for the high pressure line. Definitely time for a change because that O-ring is really flat and, well, it's probably about 20 odd years old, so definitely time for a refresher, I think. As you can see, there's fluid that's just pissed everywhere, so I'm going to have to degrease the shit out of this engine bay when these hoses are on. But anyway, you can see the old one here. O-ring's pretty well flat, which is to be expected. This one too. I don't think they were actually leaking, but I know these old hoses do actually kind of permeate oil after time. So that is the original hose. So we've got this new one. So all you got to do is just apply the new O-rings in this packet. Alright, so I've made all the mess. I've got the high pressure line on now. Tied on both sides. Now it's time to do something a bit more fun and easy. So it is basically mounting the cooler. Most people will run this basically somewhere in their front bar. As you can see, I've already got an oil cooler, intercooler, air intake and intercooler piping on that side, and then obviously a radiator behind that. I also don't want to really have any more stuff up front, right at the front of the car. Yeah, I'm thinking I'll probably just run it between the sway bar and this bracket that I've got to hold the radiator fan. Nice short piping. It's not really in the way if I need to do any work to the car, especially on the front end. So I think I'm going to do that. I'm just basically mocking up the cooler and the lines to it. So to do that, I'm just going to put the reservoir back in. I've degreased it and made it all nice and clean, and I've attached my new hose to that just to make it easier. Alright guys, so back under the car now, you can see I've got my filter with the flow going that way. So it's basically coming from the power steering rack, the low pressure side, through here, through the filter. And then check out this piece of artwork. I've basically made some little brackets to mount the cooler. As you can see, as I showed you before, there's a fair bit of stuff here. I've made like a little air intake which goes under the intercooler and up to the radiator, and this is kind of, I guess, you know, the air will go up here. Even if the air isn't hitting it, just getting the fluid away and just letting it kind of thermally dissipate through the pipes is almost enough for the power steering. But yeah, that's actually worked really well. And also, you know, it's not in the way of anything really. So all I got to do now is cut this off where I need it, put a hose clamp on it, fill up the reservoir, and then bleed the system, and we're sweet. Alright, so I'm done. Almost. Actually, I've got to put fluid in and then we've got to bleed the system, but everything's hooked up and I've just degreased the shit out of the engine bay. It's looking a lot cleaner now. So there's the cooler. All I'm going to do is just put some zip ties on those lines and basically keep them up out of the way, and then we're good to go. Yeah. Alright, so when it comes to bleeding, what I like to do anyway, every car is different, but for this car I like to basically top up the reservoir, just kind of gauge it. You don't want to go over full so you don't have to pull some out. I go about half till you see the level actually start rising. And normally for a while it'll stay the same level as it fills up the rest of the system, but then as the level starts rising I normally like to stop it. And then I just then got in the car and rotated the wheels lock to lock about 5 or 10 times. And now basically I'll just double check the fluid again, put some more in, and then I'm going to actually get in the car, start it up, and then go lock to lock probably 20 times or whatever. And you'll basically slowly hear the whining decrease as you do it. So that's basically all there is to it on this car anyway, so we'll get on to that now.